listening to Bob in the back. Where were we? The histories. Bum 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 bum. Council of Nicaea, I think. So I'll start after the Council of Nicaea. If I didn't, if the 15 minutes provided by YouTube was cut that off, I guess I'll do a special on the Council of Nicaea. Anyway, after the Council of Nicaea solidified the power of the church, off it went. And like any political institution, it got rid of its enemies. And it didn't do it by defaming them in the newspapers or having Andrew Breitbart, whatever the fuck his name is, write up some bullshit and spread it around. No, they just fucking killed him. Let's see. As with Rome, the people all over Europe had their own traditions, and they didn't really care to change them, but at the sword point. So when you see Christian traditions nowadays, and on Fox News, they're taking the Christ out of Christmas. Let's be sure to shit ourselves before we actually use our fucking heads. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that is original to Christianity about Christmas, with the exception of one thing, and that's the star on top of the tree. That's it. From the colors to Saint Nick, to presents, to lights in the trees being fairies, the Yule log, fucking chestnuts roasting on an open fire, the Advent wreath, the colors of the fucking candles in the Advent wreath, you name it. The date, not a goddamn bit of it is original to Christianity, nor is any of that in the Bible. So you got to kind of think, how did Christmas come about, and why? Well, if you're going to take over an area, right? Say we're going to conquer Germany or the Germanic tribes, and we've already done it militarily, but you've got to kind of make your culture theirs. Declare their religions heresy. Put your religion on top of theirs. Use their temples, use their holy sites, use the name of their fucking celebrations. Candlemas. I can't spell. Candlemas. Get rid of the candle, insert Christ, and what do you got? Boom! Christmas. So, faced with ostracization, or murder, or any number of things, which we'll get into in a second, the option of go to this church and worship this guy and we still get to celebrate our stuff, or go to that one and we'll die because we did that. That's what I'm saying. So, there you go, buddy. There you go. So, let's fast forward a little bit to the Inquisitions. My favorite part of the things that Christ told me to do. Torture people. You're going to learn about thumb screws. Let's say, whoever you are that's watching this, I am your inquisitor. And it was brought to my attention that that you are possibly a witch, or otherwise a heretic. I would be using this, the Malleus Maleficarum, the witch hammer. And I would be using this piece of shit as a guidebook. As of 1928, which is what this edition is from. It's obviously been printed since, but yeah, it's a, how did he put it? One of the greatest additions to the Christian faith since the Book of St. John. Asshole. Okay, so other than the standard ass whippings and punching you in the mouth and ripping your fingernails out, say you were a particularly stubborn bastard, and in truth, you didn't do a damn thing. You're a good fucking Christian guy or girl, whatever. My job is to secure a confession, and I'm very good at my job. So I will strap you down to a chair, and I will have your wrists out, and a form-fitting chunk of iron will go over your thumb. And in that form-fitting chunk of metal are two holes. One is threaded, one is not. The threaded piece has a screw. And I will slowly turn that screw, and every time I do, I'm going to say confess. 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 And say you don't. Say that screw goes through your skin, touches bone, which hurts like hell, begins to crush bone. Time out. I know, baby. It must hurt. It's a thumb screw. Oh, my buddy. Oh. Want a binky? Oh. Okay. Oh. It's okay. It's just thumb screws. It's okay. There you go. So the thumb screw is going to go over your thumb. I'm going to be screwing you. And, yeah, you like that? And every time I twist it, I'm going to say confess, and you don't. And it breaks your thumb. You will never be able to use that finger again. Nobody. So I move to the next finger, and the next, and the next, and eventually you'll give. But even if you don't, I still got an ace in the hole. Hey, buddy. So you're going to be a particularly stubborn bastard. I'm going to bring your daughter, your son, whoever it is you hold dearest to your heart. I'm going to bring them in. Now I want you to picture that. Picture what you would do. Shh. It's okay. I want you to picture what you'd do if you saw me bringing in your daughter or your son by the hand and a big old grin on my face. Because you know I'm thinking, you're gonna confess now, motherfucker. A lot of you, I'd guess, would have either confessed by now, or the second you saw that, me bringing your baby in, you'd say, okay, uncle, I confess, I'm a sinner. What do you want me to do? But even if not, for the rare case that I would have to secure a confession from your child, I would sit that baby across from you so you can look them in the face and tie down their hands and body like I did yours. And I would get another thumb screw and I would put it on their little fingers. And I would turn and I'd say, confess. Confess. And when that baby starts screaming in agonizing fucking pain, you're gonna confess. That's exactly what happened. And say you really pissed me off that day. I had other shit to do, and I had to spend all day kicking the shit out of you and your kid. Why not just do the good Christianly thing to do? Just confess. God knows all anyway, so I'm going to leave those thumb screws in, and I'm going to go to lunch. I'll be back later. Asshole. So yeah, that's shit that actually happened. prescribed by the Malleus. There are a number of torture examples of torture in the name of God. And yeah, the Malleus Maleficarum is a real book. You can check it out. Sprenger and yeah, Kramer and Sprenger. There were two monks, and they created that book. It was laughed at by there was a little board of cardinals who were in charge of like the dogma of the Catholic Church, and you know, they approved or disproved books that were submitted for the library, and they rejected the Malleus. Sprenger and Kramer then forged the names and distributed it among their fellow monks, who were also inquisitors. And so it gained traction, and then, you know, gained official recognition, etc., etc. But it didn't matter, because the papal bull, which is basically I'm the Pope, and according to our dogma, I'm God on earth. So if I say, go to Jerusalem, secure Jerusalem, I don't care what you do or how you do it, you ought to secure it. You go. And because these people, these brown fucking people, aren't exactly Christians, they're not exactly like us, that means they're not human, you can pretty much do what you want to them. Behead them, behead their children, any amount of crazy shit. Kill everybody in a city where they stand and leave them. Right. So, I mean, religious craziness isn't like secluded to one sect of one religion. It's not. Since a monotheism is mutually exclusive to everything else, it just serves to believe, you know, that if you're not me, if you don't believe like me, you're going to hell. Or you're going to do this, you know, this, that, or the other thing's going to happen to you. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not correct. Enough of that bullshit. Am I right, Bubby? Oh, there you go. So let's move on to things that kind of irk me. This has really irked me for a long fucking time. The little warning on DVD packages, or on the movie rather, that you can't fast forward through, you can't skip it, you can't do shit. It's that little fucking montage of, you wouldn't steal a handbag, you wouldn't steal a DVD, you wouldn't steal a car. Yeah, I would. I have stolen a handbag, I've stolen DVDs, I've stolen cars. Why the fuck do I give a shit about a movie? And what the fuck is with the piracy? Why don't they just call it stealing? Intellectual theft, or some shit like that. Piracy? Really? Like there's a fucking 13-year-old that's sucking on fucking Morpheus's cock with the fucking eye patch and a fucking parrot on his shoulder. Yar, I'm gonna steal me some fucking Fight Club. Yar. You know what I mean, buddy? The other thing that hurts me is people that stick these things at my fucking car door. But what really, really irks me is page 2. If you can't see it, it says compliments of, and it's blank. So that's compliments of no one. A little comfort, assurance, salvation. And as I've already done, blown this fucking thing out the water. So, my 15 minutes is about up, ironically. You cats have a good day, and, namaste. Bye.